This is a 7th grade math study review for the test on Thursday, 11/19/15. Number 1. 4x plus 5 equals 13. We want to solve for x. We want to move this 5 to this other side of the equal sign. We bring down the 4x. This crosses out, or you can say plus 0. And then we do some math. 13 minus 5 equals 8. So we recopy now, getting rid of the 0. We still want to solve for x. We want to know what x equals. To do that, we need to divide by 4. We divide by 4 because 4 and x are being multiplied together right here. That cancels and leaves us with x. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Problem number 2. Negative 5s plus 8 equals negative 2. Of course, we want to get s by itself. So to do that, we need to get rid of this 8 here. We need to move it over here. Since this is plus 8, we say minus 8 on both sides. On the next line, we bring down our negative 5s. This cancels out to be 0. And we do some math. Notice that the two numbers both are negatives, so that means we will add them together. So 2 and 8 are 10, they're both negative, so it's a negative 10. So let's recopy, leaving off the 0, and we get negative 5s equals negative 10. Now we still need to get the s by itself. And right now, it's being multiplied times negative 5. So we need to divide by negative 5 on both sides. This will cancel out because when you divide, it becomes 1s, which is the same as s. And if you divide 10 by 5, you get 2. They're both negatives. Since they're both negatives, we have a positive 2. Problem number 3. 5 plus 4d equals 37. We want to get the d by itself. Since we want to get the d by itself, we need to move this 5 over here with the 37. We're going to subtract 5 on both sides because remember, if there's not a sign in front of it, it's a positive. In the next row, this will cancel out because 5 minus 5 is 0. Let's bring down our 4d and we'll do some math. Notice that the signs are different because there's not a sign for the 37. It's a positive. $37, take away 5, 32. Now we still need to get the d by itself. Since it is being multiplied here together, we're going to divide on both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, or 1d, which is the same as d. And 32 divided by 4 is 8. Number 4. Y plus 7 is less than or equal to negative 1. We want to get y by itself. So the first thing we need to do is move 7 over here with the negative 1. It's a plus 7, so we will subtract 7 on both sides. Bring down your y. This will go away because 7 minus 7 is 0. Bring down your sign, and we've got to do some math. Notice they're both negatives. When they're both negatives, we need to add. 1 plus 7 is 8. They're both negatives, so it'll be a negative 8. It's as far as we go because we have found out that y is less than or equal to negative 8. Number 5. 14 plus x is greater than or equal to 5. We want to get the x by itself. We want to move this 14 over with the 5. Since there's no sign in front of it, it's a positive 14. So we're going to subtract 14 on both sides. This will cancel out. 14 minus 14 is 0. Let's bring down our x and our sign. And we have to do some math here. Notice it's a plus 5 because there's no sign in front of it. So our signs are different. When our signs are different, we have to subtract. 14 take away 5 is 9. Which one looks bigger? The 14. So we keep its sign, so it's a negative 9. There's our answer. We also need to graph this. Due to lack of space, I just filled in every third number. Since x is greater than or equal to negative 9, we have to come here, draw our circle. Because it's greater than or equal to, we need to fill it in. And x is bigger or the same as negative 9. So we have to shade the direction that shows a bigger. And bigger goes to the right. For number 6, we're still trying to find out what y equals. We need to move this 9. It's a negative 9, so let's make it a positive 9 to move it. Let's bring down our y. The 9's cancel because 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down our sign, and let's do some math. Notice that they're both positives. Because if there's no sign, it's positive in front of a number. 11 and 9 is 20. Then we have to graph it. Once again, I filled in, because of space, just every few numbers. In this case, every 5. So, we have to graph at 20. It'll be an open circle because it's just less than, or if it had been greater than, it would have been an open circle. And it says y is smaller than 20. So we have to shade the direction that is smaller. Number 7. 12n is less than or equal to 48. We're trying to get n by itself. Right now, it's being multiplied by 12. So we want to divide both sides by 12. This will cancel because 12 divided by 12 is 1. 1n is the same as n. 48 divided by 12 is 4. Number 8. X divided by negative 2 is less than 6. We're trying to get x by itself. Now, x is being divided here by negative 2. The opposite of divide is multiply. So we want to do that on both sides of the equation. Of course, this is the same as 2 over 1. Anyway, they divide down to negative 2 divided by negative 2 is going to be 1. 1 over x is x. Or 1x is x. Now, we multiplied by negative 2, so we're going to flip our sign. 6 times 2 is 12, and it's a negative 2, so the answer is negative 12. So x is greater than negative 12. Let me remind you, if you multiply or divide by a negative, when you're doing inequalities, they're going to flip the opposite way. Number 9. We want to get n by itself. It's being divided by 9, so we want to multiply on both sides by 9. Now, this will cancel because 9 divided by 9 is 1. 1 in, or n, comes down. We didn't use a negative, so we're still keeping our sign the same direction, and 9 times 9 is 81. For number 10, it's a word problem. Cody wants to buy some CDs, each costing $14, and one DVD that costs $23. He has $65 to spend total. We have to write an equation and figure out how many CDs he can afford if he only has $65 to spend. Well, we know that 65 is going to be our total. So let's put it over here in our total area. Now, we're going to add something together because we're going to be buying a lot of stuff. We know that he's going to spend $14, but we don't know how many times. So we'll say X for how many times, how many CDs he buys. And at least one time, no, it does say one time, he's going to spend $23 on the DVD. Now, the question is, what sign to put here? Well, our options, of course, are greater than, less than, or greater than, equal to, less than, or equal to. Which one fits? Well, we can't go above 65 because he doesn't have any more money. We could go less than 65. So, it has to be less than then, or equal. If you could make it come out equal exactly, that would also work. Now we have to figure out how many he can actually buy. So let's move the 23. Bring down our 14x. Bring down our sign. 65 minus 23 is 42. But we still have to get x by itself. So divide by 14 on both sides. This, of course, will cancel, and it'll give us x is less than or equal to 3. So he can buy 3 CDs and the 1 DVD. Number 11. 7m plus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 6. Of course, we want to get m by itself. So we need to move the 1 first. It's a plus 1, so we need to subtract 1 on both sides. Bring down our 7m. This will go away. 1 minus 1 is 0. Bring down our sign. And we have to do some math. Notice that they're both negatives. So when we have 2 negatives, we have to add. So we'll have a negative 7. We still have to get m by itself. Right now, it's being multiplied by 7. So let's divide both sides by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So 1m, or m, is greater than or equal to negative 1. Now you might ask if we should flip the sign because of that negative. But we did not actually divide by a negative, so we don't. This is our answer. Number 12. 6y is less than 18. Of course, we want to get y by itself. And right now it's being multiplied by 6. So to get it by itself, we need to divide both sides by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1, or 1y. So that's the same as y. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. Please review any problems you find tricky. And please ask Mrs. Armstrong or Mr. Reynolds for further help as needed.